Hey guys, welcome back to Gingerbread Aquatics with Andrew. Today we're going to be doing an update about my 40-gallon breeder stand that I showed you guys a couple months back. So let's get on into it. In terms of things that I would change for my 40-gallon breeder that I have in the bottom, there really isn't much that I would change. The only thing that I would do differently, knowing what I know now, is I would probably put a piece of wood or concrete blocks or something, like a solid concrete block, on the underside of these metal frames. I'm on carpet, which is directly on concrete, so it's not a problem of pressure points on plywood or whatnot underneath. It's just in terms of when I lift these up, I'd not like to have impressions of the stand left there. So if I were to do this again, I'd probably do a concrete block to do that, as well as to lift the stand up, so to serve two purposes, and then I'd have more space underneath to act as storage. So in terms of the 40-gallon breeder stand, I wouldn't do anything. The original plan was to get a 40-gallon breeder here and a 40-gallon breeder up here. But in terms of what I'm doing currently, which is breeding a lot of celestial Prodianios, if you're interested in that, I'll link a card up here about some of the breeding videos that I have for celestial Prodianios and how to raise them. But that's been what my main purpose is now with this tank and this setup, which sort of morphed from what it was before. So if I was going to keep, which I am keeping, other tanks up top, I think what I'm going to do in the near future is going to be getting some plywood or some heavier duty wood top instead of the particle board top that came with it, because the 5-gallon tanks that I have right now don't span the width of the stand like the 40-gallon breeder does, how it fits it perfectly. It's about 1.5 inches short on each side, so I have them pushed all the way up to the exterior edges, as well as splitting the difference between the front and the back. And there's only about an inch gap, 1.5 inch gap between the two. So it's not a huge problem at the current time, but it would just be something to remedy, just a more peace of mind in the future, especially with particle board getting wet and it just potentially deteriorating over time. So those are the only things that I would really change about this stand. I also have run some wire across the underside here so that I can hang stuff down into it, whether it be lights in the future, because I just have clip-ons right now, or as I have right now, my air lines running down so they're not all tangled up in the web of containers that I have in here. So those are the only couple of things that I would do differently about this stand. So far, I've really liked it. It served its purpose very, very well. I haven't had any problems with it. I'd let you guys know if I did have problems with it. If there are any other things that you could think of that would help make a stand like this better outside of what I said, leave it down in the comments below, because in preparing for buying the stand as well as this video, I was sort of looking around to see what other people had to say about these stands in terms of what they would do differently in terms of setting it up. So the only thing that I would really do differently, I like having this bottom tank, the 40-gallon, being down here rather than the opposite, because this is definitely keeping the entire tank and stand cemented in place basically. And up top, I like having the 5 gallons on top so I can work and be working in there and not having much of a problem with the reaching into a smaller opening. And for you guys that are interested in an update about what's going on, the shrimp that my dad gave me, I think they're blue bolts that he gave me, are doing very, very well in here. And I think I have about 40 or 50 babies right now. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys will have seen some posts that I've posted about the babies, like the celestial Prodianio babies that I added from these tanks up here, as well as all the babies and berries female shrimp that I have here. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll leave a link to my Instagram handle below. And with that, I hope you guys have a blessed day. See you guys in the next one.